Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. We're standing in front of my 2016 Pro-Tuned WRX. This is my daily drive tuned vehicle. And in today's video, we're talking about the thing that everyone needs to do if they drive a Pro-Tuned or tuned vehicle, or if they're considering tuning or Pro-tuning their vehicle. This is something that everyone needs to do. I'll run an intro that shows my car to you guys if you're new to the channel, or just if you want to see a cool intro, I'll roll it now. But otherwise, guys, we're gonna move to go inside the car because it's like 22 degrees out right now. So let's not kill me. All right, so we're in the car. It's a little bit warmer. I'm not gonna turn the car on, so we have some clean audio, but it's a little bit warmer because it was just running. It's not 22 degrees and windy. It's probably only with the wind chill outside. It's probably like 4 degrees. But I gotta make a video for you guys. You know, you gotta get that content. You gotta learn a little bit more. Put some knowledge in your brain. That's the hope here. So something that everyone needs to do if they have a tuned or modified car, and if you're considering tuning or modifying your car and making it less practical and potentially affecting your factory warranty or lowering the factors of safety on your engine and transmission, this is definitely something that you should do. And if you're in that boat, if you're in any of those situations, which if you've clicked on this video, you probably are, this is something you 100% need to do. Not going to beat around the bush anymore. You need to have an emergency fund. Oh, boo, not interesting. Well, let me talk about some finances for a second. The average engine repair for a WRX or an STI, and then we'll talk about average cars, but just, you know, I guess just as a whole, if your engine goes, expect to spend up to $10,000 to replace it. If your transmission goes, you can expect to spend almost the same, but in most cases you're looking at like $7,000 or $8,000 for most cars. Of course, if you drive a much nicer car and you're doing this, that increase goes way up. But for your car that's under $40,000, those are your costs that you can expect to spend. Now, if you're tuning and modifying your car, you're outside of warranty, and then therefore you're not going to have it. You're going to get denied a warranty claim, and the manufacturer isn't going to do this for you. So why do you need an emergency fund? Well, if you blow your engine or your transmission, you don't want to be completely down a car and completely out of the ride. And if you are like most people, you have a lien on the car, which means you have a loan on the car, you haven't bought it in cash. And if you're forced to sell out of the car because the repair is so much that you can't afford it and it's not worth it financially, and you just sell to get out of it and find someone that will recoup the loss or do it themselves, you need to have the money to pay off the loan. The short is you need to have some extra money put aside. I'm a hypocrite. When I started doing with this car, I didn't have enough money, and even now, like, I don't, like, if I needed to spend 10, 15 grand, like, the car would be sitting for some time is the answer. So what we all need to do as owners of modified cars is have an emergency fund if something goes wrong. And I'm not, you know, quite honestly, I'm not talking about $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Because if you really think about it, if something goes wrong to the extent that I'm talking about, a couple grand isn't enough to deal with it. So this is a forewarning. And, you know, things like this don't happen all the time, but they do happen, and they happen out of the blue and they're unpredictable. It could happen to me. I honestly don't know, you know, and this is just a warning to all of you out there that are planning on doing this, and understand, because time and time again I see these situations, especially with the younger folk out there that have these cars and they tune them, and some of the more naive older people that are just getting into the scene. Modifying and tuning your vehicle is a danger. Nothing is safe, right? There's no safe way of doing this. There is a better than bad situation where you're doing something that's probably okay and it's seen to be okay, but you're still lowering the safety of the engine and the transmission. But you need to understand that you pay to play, and knock on wood, I hope nothing happens to this car, because making these videos, you know, the whole, like, I feel like it's almost taboo when I make these videos that something's going to happen to me so that I'm the example. I hope that's not going to happen, but the reality is you pay to play on this platform and any platform, and the worst thing that can happen is that, you know, it becomes a life-changing moment because you owe so much money, or you don't have a car, or you lose your job because you can't get there anymore. All these things happen so often. If you're part of the Facebook groups and you're part of some of the online forums and communities, watch it happen and watch what happens to these poor individuals. Poor, not in financial poor, but just like poor as in a sad situation. That I'd be in honestly too. You know what I mean? You're not alone if this has happened to you. So this is a forewarning of things happen. Things do happen and things can change in the blink of a second. You know, a great channel out there, Smedia. He makes amazing content. Absolutely love him. Knowledgeable, understands the platform, does his research. If you follow his channel, you'll know that his stock Golf R just blew the engine on, I think, Christmas Eve. So he didn't even do anything, but his engine blew. And now he's going to be in a tough financial situation. I think, you know, I hope everything goes well with him. I hope that he can do a lot of the work himself, that he can get a new engine, potentially covered under warranty. I don't know. Hopefully, you know, he does have some means from his YouTube channel. They're not going to be, he doesn't make a ton of money on the channel. I can tell you guys for a fact, there's not a lot of money to be made in the automotive space or just on YouTube unless you're huge. But there's a situation that of somebody that a lot of us know, that a lot of you guys probably watch too. You know, it is a terrible situation when it happens. So this video, although is not super interesting, is a forewarning to you guys that things can happen. Cars are expensive. They're not all rainbows and daisies and butterflies, what is the saying? Something like that. Things can happen, so just be prepared. I hope they never happen to me. I hope they never happen to you guys. But an emergency fund is a smart thing to have just in general. I know that I don't talk a ton of personal finance on this channel, and I know a lot of you guys don't want to hear about personal finance, but having an emergency fund for the rest of life is always good. And I'm not saying have two, just have some money put aside, especially if you're doing the whole tuned vehicle thing. Make sure you already have that emergency fund built up for your family, for your health, your loss of job, your loss of housing. If you get injured, if you can't work, that should already be there before you tune your car, because you're just taking another risk and adding another expensive thing that could happen. And again, I apologize, this isn't a super interesting video, but this is a plea to the community and a plea for everyone that's potentially doing this to understand the situation that they're getting into. And this should be motivation. Work, work, work. These cars are super fun. You gotta work for them, right? You gotta do that. If you're buying these cars and you don't own more than half the car, do not risk the engine. Do not do anything stupid. Pay that car off so that if you do blow your engine, you at least own the car and you can get out of the car and take money off the table if you needed to. I couldn't recommend doing that enough for the average person. If you're really savvy, you have it, take money out of it. Your money will make more money outside elsewhere, you know, in the market. But if you're not at that point yet, own your car. Own your car. That is the best way to defend your asset, is if you own it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe, make smart decisions. Have a great day.